Hello! You guys, I just made the funniest thumbnail. I have to go check it out after this. But, okay, so hello for my car. Sorry, my stuff is kind of in the way. Try to move this over. But, yeah, if it is your first time here, hello, welcome to my channel. I have lots of random content for you to enjoy, and I'd love for you to be a part of the fam. So, yeah, stick around, you know? And if it is not your first time here, welcome back. Hello. Okay, so today I'm gonna do kind of like a story time, but also just like sharing the importance of trusting your gut, because I will talk to people, a lot of different people sometimes, and people will have different thoughts and opinions on this idea. But I will find that it's like almost more people than not they'll get these gut feelings about different things in their life. But I'd say more people than not will question them, or they'll almost kind of gaslight themselves to be like, do I really think this, or do I really feel this, or maybe it's just in my head, or I don't know, like I could be wrong. And yes, all of that could be true, but I truly believe that we have gut feelings for a reason. And the world, people can name it different things, like if you're an empath, or yeah, the gut feeling, the intuition. I guess as a Christian, I will just simply call it discernment, and just picking up on what I feel like God is trying to tell me in a certain situation. And I have learned to just trust myself and to not question myself when I'm feeling that something is off, or something's gonna happen, or that I should or shouldn't do different things. And I just want to share a couple stories that happened recently to maybe, I guess, encourage you to listen to yourself when you have those feelings. So basically, one of them happened, I think this last Friday, not that long ago. And I was driving around, and I drive a lot. I drive almost every single day. And then I also just like to go for drives. So I'm in my car multiple hours a day. And so I'm very aware of people around me, things around me, how people are driving, things like that. And I've never gotten, like every once in a while, but never so consistently, kind of gotten like annoyed with people driving so close to me from behind. Like I just felt like everyone was like riding me, so to say. And yeah, it was just such a weird thing that I all of a sudden was noticing. It's like I felt this like closeness, like everywhere I went, these cars, like every single one of them were like 2 feet behind me. And I just was kind of like, I was just getting this weird feeling about it. Like, I don't know, I just like was sensing this stuff. And then probably like 36 hours later, after I started sensing that, I was coming to a stop at a stoplight, and I got like mega rear-ended by this guy in the back of me, and he like hit me so hard that I ended up getting pushed into the car in front of me. Like everyone's fine, I'm fine, I just have like a tiny bit of whiplash, I guess, but like other than that, like we all made it out fine. His car is unfortunately like completely totaled, which sucks a lot. But I don't know, it was just such a weird thing, because it's like, it just like happened. And I almost like felt it happen before it did. And so like in situations like that, you can't really do anything about that. I mean, like it's not like I could somehow stop him not running into me or rear-ending me. But it's just interesting to me how I almost sensed it happen before it did. And so I do feel like sometimes God will almost like give us a little bit of a heads up, or like a forewarning, because after it happened, like I wasn't even that upset about it. I was kind of like it's annoying and whatever, it happens, but one, that's why they're called accidents. So I am more concerned that everyone involved is okay than what a vehicle looks like, I guess. But also too, it's almost like I was just expecting it to happen, so I just kind of like was like, okay. But I don't know, I just thought that was really interesting. And then probably like 2 days after that, like not that long after that, whole different scenario and situation. This one was actually more dangerous, but been in lots of those situations, so seem to be pretty acquainted with them. But anyway, so I was going to Walmart to just do some shopping, and I had pulled into the parking lot, like normal behavior, that's fine, cool. And this van came and parked right next to me in the slot right next to me, and that's just annoying in itself, you know, like everyone feels like that. That's like someone going and running right next to you on the treadmill right next to you, you know, it's just like weird behavior. But especially because there was like a ton of other slots open, and so I was just kind of already like on my guard a little bit, like, why did you park right next to me when you could have parked over there, like 7,000 other places? But okay, cool. But I just kind of brushed it off. And then it's so interesting to me, I've had so many situations like this in my life where it's like I can't even, like, the whole thing was almost like a fog, like my body just I swear I have some like dope guardian angels that just like give me insight, and like my body just reacts. But anyway, so I saw the guys, and I started to get out of my car, and this guy started to get out of his car at the same time as me, and like without even thinking, I just had this like icky feeling like come over me, and I just like responded, and I, without even looking at him, after like instantly got back into my car and locked my doors. And I was like just turning on my car on, ready to drive away, and he got out of his car and came over and like knocked on the window, was trying to talk to me. And then I'm just ignoring him, like just kind of like I don't know, just not reacting to it. I just have learned that those are some of the best way to handle situations like that, is just non-reaction. And so I was just trying to get myself out of the situation as well. And so I put myself into gear to drive forward, and this man literally goes and stands in front of my car. And so I was like, okay, like, I'm just gonna call your bluff on this one and say that like when a few thousand-pound vehicle comes driving towards you, you'll like move, like get out of my way, you know. But cool. So obviously I don't want to run this person over, but also I'm kind of like, F you, like, dude, like, no. And so I just start driving forward, and finally he just moves and gets back into the van with his buddy, and they drive away. And so like, okay, that's weird, that's super bizarre and doesn't make me feel great. And like, I'm 100% fine, don't know what that was all about, and honestly, sadly, I just feel like I'm becoming more and more desensitized to situations like that, because they just happen so often, and just other things that have happened. But I think about that too, where I'm just like, how did I know to just like get back into my car and lock my doors and just kind of like respond? And that, like, it's so interesting, because I mean, I just had a gut feeling. I had a gut feeling that this guy was weird and potentially dangerous, and I just responded. And so I share that not to like scare anyone, but also sometimes I think things like this happen like all the time, and people don't talk about it. And even I had shared it on my social media, and I had a few girls reach out to me and just be like, oh my gosh, like, I'd be so terrified, I don't even know what I'd do. And yes, stuff like that is scary, but I want almost people to be more aware of that, so they feel more equipped to respond in situations like that, because I'd so much rather you like fight and flight than freeze. Obviously that's not ideal in an emergency or dangerous situation. And depending on what it is, like anything, I guess we're talking about like dangerous situations, but just like anything in life, it's just another reminder to you and to myself that we get these gut feelings for a reason, and that I truly believe that like God gives them to us to help us, to keep us safe, to give us direction and guidance in our life. And I just really encourage you to listen to them. I'd so much rather you listen to it and potentially be wrong and maybe just feel a little silly, than in a situation like the last story I told, like, no, it's fine, like, I'll just get out at the same time as this stranger guy that is not even 2 feet away from me when he could be parked a million other places. And like, who knows, like worst case scenario, you know, like something worse happened, could have happened. But yeah, I just think if you're in a situation like that and you decide not to trust your gut when you feel something is off, it can have a very different outcome. And so yeah, I wanted to share just for like story's sake, but also, like I said, to encourage, empower, inspire anyone that may listen or watch this video, that we have those gut feelings for a reason, and just to listen to them. So yeah, hope this spoke to you in your own ways, and that you can go throughout your days and just be super in tune with you. And also lastly, sometimes I'll tell people different stuff. I have a million different stories along those lines, and they'll be like, I never, like, how do you know that? Or I have no idea. I just feel like I've kind of been like this since I was a little girl. But if, let's say, you're someone that doesn't really get a ton of gut feelings, or you can be with people and you don't really sense things, or you've been out and about with people and maybe your friend is like a super intuitive person and she sees or notices something and you just don't really, doesn't mean you're like a weirdo or a bad person or something like that. But I would just encourage you to pray to God and just ask him for more discernment, or just to make you more sensitive to different things like that, because yeah, I believe he'd want to, and he wants to help us in our life. So not a bad idea to try it out. So anyway, that's all I have. But I hope you guys have a really good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.